Hey, friends, welcome back to the Call to Lead podcast. So, I'm super excited to wrap up this series of episodes where I've been breaking down our 5 core differentiators, which are safe, seasonal, simple, smart, and this episode is going to be all about sustainable and not necessarily in the ways that you might think. So, let's dive into this week's episode, which is going to answer the question, what makes Restore different, coming from the perspective of sustainability. Okay, great. So this episode is hopefully going to be helpful whether or not you are just getting ready or thinking about starting a business with Restore Collective. Or what's super cool is you might be listening to this a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road because a podcast itself is essentially sustainable, which means it lasts. The words that we share, the experiences that I have been through, both in the creation aspect of this company, along with my husband, Roger, and my previous network marketing experience and beyond, my year that I spent off social media. The cool thing about a podcast is it's all there, my friends. But you might be listening to this at any point in that journey, and it's my hope that you can know the heart of when we created both our products and our compensation plan. We focused on really being creative, but also simplifying with a goal from our vision to elevate the industry as a whole. And so one of the ways that we knew we wanted to do this when it came to our products and our comp plan is sustainability. And this is one of the 5 pillars that also crosses over into one of our core values. But I also wanted to include it here as one of our differentiators because it is truly something that makes our products unique. And it's really our ultimate goal with the comp plan to have it be sustainable for your life and your business. So let's dive into the 3 reasons that Restore's products are different and the 3 reasons that Restore's compensation plan are different when it comes to sustainability. So product-wise, you may or may not be if you're keeping up with, all things in the packaging or beauty world right now, but I can tell you sustainability is a huge buzzword. And so the reason, number one, is kind of the most obvious one, and that is truly when we were sourcing everything from our packaging, to the partners that we're working with, we kept sustainability in mind because that's truly the direction of where this world is going. And that's what our customers ultimately are wanting from this. And so we wanted to be able to honor that, though that's really the other 2 facets are not quite tied to, just the green aspect of things, which is definitely a facet of this, but it's more importantly tied to the stewardship of taking care of our planet. And whether or not you're a believer, this gift of creation is for us to be a steward. And I think we've gotten that wrong in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to beauty and especially when it comes to the packaging for cosmetics and skincare. And so the first reason is more the typical sustainability reason, which is our packaging is very much sustainable for all of our products. And so you might be wondering, how? And essentially we use less on purpose. And what I mean by that is we only have, for example, an external box on one of our skincare products because guess what's going to happen? You're just going to throw it in the trash. And because we do not ever intend to go into the retail space like Sephora or Ulta, that external box that's usually what's calling to you in a store like that isn't really necessary in our products. And so that's one example of one step from a sustainability that our packaging, you're not going to have to, outside of our SPF, the Prime Protect, which does require that from an FDA perspective, that's the only one that's going to have a box. So you don't have to have, first of all, from the minute that you get in your Restore goodies, you're not going to have that issue and that waste associated with that external secondary packaging, as they call it. Also, we are so excited that where we can, even at soft launch, but certainly as we go, we will be doing refillable options. And so what that means is, yes, our packaging is absolutely beautiful and sustainably sourced and all of those good things, but you don't have to throw the actual packaging away. So for example, our Glow Capsule, which is our all-in-one curated makeup edit, so think of it as a capsule wardrobe for your face, that you buy the one palette, which is a substantial, it's got a heavy duty weight. It can be monogrammed so that it's your palette. And the idea is you have that one palette and you continue to use and hold on to that one palette. You can buy more if you want to, or if it, gets beat up and knocked around, you can certainly buy another one. But our goal with this is you just buy that one palette and then you refill it with refills that again have minimal packaging. Those do come in an external secondary box just for labeling and obviously safekeeping and safe shipping, but we kept that as simple as we could and sustainable as well. So you'll see also just a couple of key things. I don't know about you guys, but I always lose the lids to our products. And our lids are actually attached onto our products where you can just twist them up. So you don't have to worry about, losing or throwing away or misplacing that outer piece. And so our packaging, essentially, the first reason is that it's intentionally low waste. It can be recycled or reused or refilled, which is crazy because that's all the words that make up restore. We're essentially like a restore. And so, anyway, that's a side note, but that's literally a part of the purpose of the name. And so it's all designed with that sustainability in mind, from not just being eco-friendly or green, like I was saying, but truly being good stewards of our environment through the choices and the selections of the packaging and the products that we carry. So that's the first reason. And that is a differentiator that certainly we're not the only ones out there that are doing it. In fact, it's more of a growing trend, I would say, in the beauty space to focus on that because, again, it's the right thing to do. And so that is one differentiator because not everybody has kind of gotten to that piece in their business yet where sustainability is a focus, but it is a focus of ours. But my favorite reason that we chose sustainability is reason number 2. And we developed really simple systems and curated collections that we call edits that are meant to be a system that you can learn once and use forever if you want. And so what that looks like is, even though most of our customers are probably going to be, busy hot mess moms in their 30s, 40s, 50s and beyond, that, maybe even hot mess grandmas too, that really want something simple. Like I just read something the other day that said like the first half of our life, we spend collecting things, right? And I know that was me. And I've talked about this on the podcast where my beauty obsession days are long gone, where I would have like my giant caboodle or all of the things. And we spend the second half of our life getting rid of it and editing out and simplifying. And so we kind of meet right there in the middle for those that want something new and exciting and innovative. Maybe they are in their 20s and, they want something that is fun and they love the idea of it being all in one. And that can kind of start that simplicity process like from the get-go. But it certainly is perfect for people like me who, aren't necessarily a minimalist, but that really want that more simplified approach. And so what that looks like is though we are kind of targeting more that hot mess mom, grandma age market, guess what? She's got teenagers, as I do. I've got an 11-year-old and a 15-year-old, both of whom love makeup. And the idea is just like some of us went to the Clinique counter or maybe even like an Avon party back in the day or a Mary Kay party, and you learned how to do your makeup and your skincare. And guess what you tend to stick with is like what you learn. And if it works, you continue on with it. And so the sustainability piece is something that's really important from the simplicity and developing a system that you're actually going to stick to. So same with our skincare. And I'm not saying there's not a time and a place for like a 10 or 12 step skincare system. And certainly this can integrate into some of those if you're the type that wants to take the time and energy to do it. I, my friends, am for sure a skincare minimalist. I'm just going to admit it right here. There are some days I don't even wash my face at night, and that is just how it goes. So if I had to integrate a 10 or 12 step skincare routine, I couldn't do it. And so we intentionally designed ours to be something to where when I do go and I wash my face at night and I do our whole, right now it'll start as a 2-step, not including the Prime Protect, which I kind of consider as the makeup edit. But anyways, I digress. But it's really a 2-step integration. But when we have our double cleanse system, it's just going to be a simple 4-step. That's really all you need. You can throw in a moisturizer if you want. You can throw in things like retinol if you want to add in some more active products and ingredients to target things like wrinkles or acne or things like that you need a little bit more extra. And eventually we may have some of those everyday essentials as well. But our core edits, the capsule wardrobes for your skin and your makeup, those are all going to be so simple and so curated that people get so used to falling in love with using them that they last, which is, in my opinion, an even better version of sustainability. So the last reason that we see this as sustainable is, I don't know about you guys, and I've said this before, and this is one of the reasons we like to say we're the athleisure of makeup and skincare, but I wear some version of some comfy, stretchy, like right now I've got on like these like stretchy, Lululemon pants that feel divine. I wear some version of this every day. And yes, I don't know if you can see my feet, but I have on no shoes or I have on slippers. And so this is meant to be that like athleisure that you want to wear every day. And so that's going to be the colors that are proven from our color science quiz to work with your neutral, warm, or cool skin tone. And so, you're like, I could wear this, I think I have Marie on my cheeks. I have a mix of Mimi and Marie, and I wear the exact same colors pretty much every day. Today, I switched it up and I have a little bit of Mildred on my eyes just for fun. So it doesn't mean that I can't switch it up, but all of our shades within the makeup line are intentionally designed to be those everyday basics that you and your customers are going to want to reach for every single day. So going back to that everyday essentials, that's a part of our vision and the way that we can expand moving forward. And that's essentially a big part of the sustainability when it comes to our products. And so this isn't just makeup for special occasions, though certainly I used them on my daughter for her school play and several of the other people that were in the play. I did the eyeshadow for my daughter's first prom last weekend for the 15-year-old, which was just so special, first of all, that she even wanted me to do it. It looked gorgeous. So it absolutely can be makeup for special occasions. I just kind of switched it up and glammed it up and messed with the application. But guess what? Those are the same colors that you can use every day. So it's meant to be your everyday go-to. It's makeup that fits your real life, which again, if you're like me, is a crazy hot mess most of the time. So that is the third reason why our products are considered sustainable. And I do believe that is a huge differentiator from when you go to Sephora and Ulta and you get this big overwhelm of, of options that are more special occasion or glam focused and not necessarily the things that you're going to use and love every day. Actually, side note on this, because this ties number 2 and number 3 together, and it's a really cool story. So one of my good friends from my Bible study, her husband is you met him on here, Harrison. I've interviewed him on the podcast before. I can link that episode in the show notes if you want to meet Harrison, because he has some really wise wisdom and gave us some really good foundational stuff here at the beginning of our Restore journey. But his daughter was turning 13, right? Not 14, 13, I believe it was. And her mom, Lindsay, requested that I come play makeup with her. And so even though she can't buy Restore yet, because no one can, right? We're so close. I brought my Restore goodies. And what I did is I taught her using the Restore system. But then because her mom was taking her to Ulta the next day to go on a shopping spree, I kind of showed her like, okay, well, you could get her this and this and this and this. And it was crazy because even though our glow capsule with the brush that I showed Emma Grace, that would be like $188, which is a lot to spend on a 13-year-old. I guarantee you that they spent more than that by going to Ulta and getting all of those things and having to run around the store, which honestly was probably fun for her. So I'm glad they had that experience. And at one point I even added it all to my cart just to see, and I got distracted and didn't get that total. But I was above $200 with what I recommended from the Ulta products. And a lot of them were drugstore. It wasn't even like it was the top end products that I was recommending for her. And so for me, that number one, whether she uses Restore or not, has a sustainable system that she will use for the long run, right? But it's going to be the same thing that she can wear a little bit every day to school. She can glam it up when she's got a school dance or, wants to feel, extra glamorous on one of her days. And so it's really meant to be that everyday essential that she's going to want to use and love for hopefully the years to come. So that's a beautiful example of, I think, what makes our products and even our systems for being able to share. For example, when I did it, I used our entire Beauty Lab experience with our mirrors, our Beauty Lab blueprint, our makeup maps, everything that we have that will be available as a business tool for advocates and partners at our full launch. Those are exactly what I use to show and share the products with Emma Grace. And it just felt so good. It was so great. So that is what differentiates this from the product standpoint when it comes to sustainability. So let's talk comp plan, which is next. And so this was, again, a huge aspect for when we met with some of the best comp plan consultants in the business. One of the first things we said to them is, we want this to last. We don't want to change our compensation plan, hopefully ever. Not that we can't make small tweaks and, based on feedback, we can, do things here and there. But one of the reasons we went with this particular group of consultants, and they've been such a blessing to us, is because of the 100 or so billion-dollar unicorn companies in the network marketing or direct sales space. They've worked with a third of them, either on the front end, building sustainable comp plans that are still going, or, and probably even more important, and something that really gave me confidence in working with them, they have helped the people who did have to change their comp plans and who came to them and said, okay, we're going to fix this, fix our mistakes from before. And now we're going to develop something that can last for the long run. And so when they told us that that was a part of their story and their plan and that they have experience on both ends and that they themselves are always partners with us, we can and will rely on them and lean on them and already have for all of the facets moving forward, with growing and developing the aspects of our comp plan. And I love that they themselves are a sustainable resource and solution for Restore Collective that is a huge asset to us. So the reason number one that our comp plan is really different and sustainable is it's built to last. We do not anticipate having to make changes to our comp plan. We focused on best practices for generation. We did give it a hybrid approach to incorporate that advocate or affiliate model, which marries for us the kind of party plan because it's great for someone who wants to just be a hostess and share the product with their friends, but doesn't necessarily want to build a team. But it's also the perfect solution for a multifaceted online entrepreneur who's maybe an influencer repping multiple brands, but doesn't want to confuse her team if she's leading at another company or isn't leading at any companies and doesn't really have time or the desire to be able to take on that responsibility because it's a big one. Leading a team is a big responsibility, and our advocate compensation plan is specifically designed for that reason. And so the idea is that we give choices, we give freedom, and we have something that can last that's built in today's environment of the ever-changing world of social media and the rise of the online influencer, which I've talked about extensively here on the podcast. So go back to the Scale Without Social days if you want to know my heart's on that. But truly something that I believe has also worked for generations when it comes to the network marketing or the partner side, which is more traditional team building, and it's built to last. Also, it's very regulatory friendly in that way too. We built it specifically with Canada in mind so that, whatever Canada is really strict on, we didn't want there to be too many changes. There may, just full transparency, Canadians, there may have to be slight tweaks. And honestly, every country that we expand into, that's normal. They explain that to us. But we said, okay, if it's strict in Canada, let's go ahead and implement it in the United States so that when we get to Canada, we don't have to change it because we'll just marry whatever they're strict about, if that makes sense. Whereas certain Asian companies might be strict on like a whole other host of other things, and we'll get there when we get there. But we wanted to be able to begin with the end in mind. We wanted a sustainable comp plan, and that is reason number one. So reason number two that our comp plan is different when it comes to sustainability is it is a 4-phased approach that is meant to guide people on a journey that we really call like a marathon. This is not a sprint. Yes, this, is a new company and it is a great opportunity for those that do join at the beginning, of course, all of those things. But I'm telling you, there will be people that join at the beginning that don't do anything because they're scared or they're too hung up on like, I don't know this answer, or I need to do this or try this or learn this or know this before I can even get started in my business. And I've seen that before because I did sign up on day one of my previous company. And I've seen people that I signed up with that didn't wind up doing anything. I've also seen and actually have founding partner mentors literally with this company that have joined years down the road post hyper growth and have reached the top of the company. And I'm here to tell you that that is the definition of sustainability when it's done right and done well. And that is our goal, that someone doesn't have to join in this pre-launch or soft launch or public launch first year phase in order to have success in this business, because we are going to walk them through a 4-phased approach in our plan that is breaking it down step by step by step and is built on the habits that are proven to be effective to get them to those highest levels. So someone's not diving right into building up other leaders if they're not there yet, because I know if I were trying to run a marathon, I'd have to start by getting my butt off the chair here and go running a mile, which I don't even think I could do if I wanted to right now, right? Like I can't just go run 26 miles or certainly do an Ironman or something like that. But guess what? If I ran a mile, I could build up to running a 5K. And then after that, maybe try 10K, then maybe do, I don't know, a bridge run, something like that, and then work my way up to being a marathon runner. And so even our systems within our digital business toolkit will all be designed to help these phases. But essentially our comp plan, when it comes to it, is designed on the first phase, foundationally being focused on customers, which we'll talk more about that in a minute, because that's That is definitely our next sustainability piece, and I'll explain why. But that customer as the foundation, meaning you can rank 3 times alone just by finding customers. And even if you have big goals and dreams of building a team, a massive team, even, you want to start by finding customers yourself because that's the root, the foundational basics of your business. And even though our personal sales requirements are both minimal, they only go up to $600 even at the highest levels in the United States. But they also, we have the seasonality component, which means that you can, instead of even at the top levels, which they start at 100, go up to 600, and it's phased within the different tiers. But that $600 you could also get by selling $1,800 over the 3-month period from that month and the 2 previous months before. So the idea is that it's not like you have to sell a whole lot, but you do have to sell, and it can't come from your own personal purchases either. So we actually limit $100 of what your own personal purchases can count towards within those personal sales requirements. So you'll still get paid your personal commissions on that. You'll still get, 20% baseline commissions, base retail profits, what we call it, even on your orders as an advocate or a partner. And it will still count towards your volume. But the idea is you're not unsustainably spending a ton of money to buy a rank or to buy, certainly not from other people, because we will be policing that and that will not be okay. And I can promise you that is not sustainable. You want your foundation of your business to be based in finding customers, actual customers. And we like to say you can do that by finding 5 at a time. And we have what's called the momentum incentive, which is our fast start to help you dive in and walk you through what it looks like to find those 5 first customers that equal $1,000 in sales. And you've got the month you enroll and the 2 months following to do that and earn an extra $100 worth of product credit. And so the cool thing is right from that get-go, that foundational profitable partner, silver partner, and gold partner aspects is you can and probably should even reach for that with your own customers alone. Now, if you are building a team, your team can count towards your group volume that you're needed to have at each one of those ranks. And don't worry, we will have a great resource for you at launch called the Ready to Grow guide that will walk you through each one of these phases. But just know that that foundational first phase is built on finding customers. The second phase is built on finding teamies. And so same as focusing on 5 at a time, that one is focused on finding 5 teamies at a time. Now, when you do get your eyes on the comp plan, you'll notice that you really only need, even at the highest levels within that star phase, as we call it. So there's star partner, there's silver star partner, and gold star partner. And within those star phases, you never have to have 5 different branches, as we call them, or 5 different people creating volume in areas. You do have to have branches at this area because it is about building up other people and helping them grow. But what's cool is those branches, the volume can come from 1 people, 5 people, as many people, whatever that looks like. But it's just about empowering others to success. But in order to get 3 pretty strong branches at that gold star partner level, you are going to need at least 5, if not, I'd say 10 or more teamies in order to make that happen, because not everybody's going to have big goals, and that is okay. So you want to continue by finding 5 teamies at a time and just build on that foundational element. Because if you know how to do it in that first level, you can show someone else how to do it to help you get to the second level. And if you do that again and again and again, that, my friends, is scaling, and that is how you build a sustainable business. So the last 2 phases are more built on finding 5 leaders at a time. And the elite level so that's elite partner, silver elite partner, gold elite partner. That is designed on developing other leaders. So at this point, hopefully you've got a solid foundation of personal sales for yourself. You know how to personally enroll people. You've learned that and grown through that in the star phase. So guess what? Now it's all about empowering others to go and do the same. And so just like you probably needed at least 5 partner branches or advocate branches, teamies, right, to create the 3 needed to get to Gold Star partner, you're probably going to need definitely at least 5, 10, 15, somewhere in there, branches to get to the leader structure bases required. So this is where structure starts to kind of come into the place. But again, you're sustainably building, and the structure required is based in the volume required. And so I probably shouldn't get too much into the comp plan on this, but the idea is, can you see how it's a phased approach that's allowing you to grow and build on the best practices? The Pinnacle partner side of things, that's the top end of our compensation plan. That is really, really focused on developing up elite level leaders. And so that one is designed, once again, to find 5 elite level leaders. And you only need 3 to get to the highest level platinum Pinnacle partner. We have Pinnacle partner, silver Pinnacle partner, gold Pinnacle partner, and platinum Pinnacle partner. And so that if you want to get to that platinum Pinnacle partner, you're going to need 5 rock star legs. And so you can go ahead and begin with the end in mind. But guess how you're going to do it? You're going to do it by helping people get through that first partner aspect of the plan, and then work through the star plan and then the elite plan. And you're going to grow and develop as many people who want to run this marathon with you. And guess what? I don't want to run a marathon. I don't even want to run a mile. I don't. So I'm not going to, and that's okay. So you want to lead with freedom and know that not everybody will. So there's a saying that says, some will, most won't, but all could. And that's really true for any facet of this business. But that's ultimately what makes this sustainable and really unique, is the 4 phases within our compensation plan. So lastly, the reason that our compensation plan is sustainable is, well, first of all, we've completely flipped the script where it's not a top-down pyramid structure. Literally in our back office, I could cry at how amazing this is, you guys. We had them flip your typical tree, and it's a bottom-up rooted approach where if you are building a team, you're on the bottom and you're lifting up and supporting your branches. And that's literally the visual that you're going to get in your back office. And I could cry. It is so beautiful, and I'm so excited about it. But truly, the core structure of building that tree is flipping the script on what this industry has taught in the past, which is you're at the leader, you're at the top, you're putting people under you, and I'm over you, and all of that. And it's like, no, no, no. That's not what works in this business. So when you flip the whole thing upside down and you make yourself rooted in the right phases, right? Like you yourself have gone through those phases yourself. Everyone starts by going for profitable partner and selling $100, right? But you're rooted in that, and you're helping to grow and flourish these other branches. So the other cool facet, and the reason our comp plan is sustainable, is the fruit of this tree are our customers. And so a question, especially in this soft launch phase, that I know is on everyone's mind, and as you dive into Restore, whether that's at the beginning or years down the road, you might be coming in with pretty big goals, maybe to try to replace an income or match an income from another something that you've done in the past. And I can tell you that if you want to grow your commissions, you're going to want to grow your customer volume. And whether that's you yourself with our personal commission plan and getting the commissions that way, or by choosing to help other people grow that volume, either in mass as an online influencer, as you know, some people can sell really, really big, and that creates that customer volume, right? Or if you're helping a ton of people, like I've always said, I love my influencer friends. And while I think it's amazing to have, one person that can sell $100,000 worth of product, that's awesome. I'd rather help 100 people sell $1,000. And I know that that's what the goal of the partner program is designed to do. But what's really cool is because we have that advocate program, we're marrying that volume, and we're helping people, whether they're an advocate and building their business one click, one link, one person at a time, without the team side of it, or if it's team building focused on helping people get through that momentum incentive and make that $1,000 in that first 3 months of their business. That is what we are here to do. And from that, the fruit of our tree is customer centered and a customer volume approach that is going to make this thing last for the long run. So my friends, those are the differentiators that set our compensation plan and our products apart. And I hope it gets you as excited as I do, because I want to join. So I'm pumped and I'm excited, and I'm going to wrap us up in prayer. Lord, thank you so much for just the blessing of being able to work with some really amazing people in the development of both of our sustainable products and our sustainable compensation plan. And thank you for allowing us to really learn from what's been proven out there and, the ever-changing environment in this way, but also to hopefully set the tone for how this industry can even be better and do better and be good stewards of both the environment through sustainability, through our time and our resources, and creating simple, easy systems that people can use and love. And truly to help people who want to build a business do it in a way that is meant and built to last. And we're just so grateful for that opportunity and clear guidance and direction that you've given from the very beginning in this facet. And I just ask that you give clarity and wisdom and comfort and confidence to those that are listening to know that there is really something special about this. And so I'm just grateful for those listening who are asking those tough questions about what makes us different. And I just am so grateful for everything you've done for us. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week. Yay.